Welcome to our wall-assisted yoga practice. My name is Tatiana. In order to set up for our practice today, you will need to move your mat up against a wall that allows you to have some space. So aligning the short end of your yoga mat right up against the wall. And we will start in a posture where we are facing the wall and extending the legs up, resting the heels against the wall, allowing your feet to splay open. And the feet can be hip-width distance apart or even a little bit wider here. You are absolutely welcome to support your hips on a block or a pillow to give yourself a little bit more lift if that feels inviting on your body, or you can just lay on the yoga mat. So taking your time, starting to come into this first restorative posture. And then when you have arrived, begin to draw your attention to your breath. Simply noticing how it feels to breathe in and breathe out, allowing your breath to flow in and out through your nose. And as your attention settles here, simply inviting a little bit of deepening on your inhales, a little bit of lengthening on your exhales. Rumi once said, "Love has inflicted so many pains on me, and that is how my life became blessed." So in this particularly heartbreaking moment in the world, where we feel far apart from one another, where we feel lonely, where we feel scared, where we feel some degree of pain, maybe just a mild ache, maybe a moderate throb, or maybe an excruciating pang. We are invited to remember that this pain is rooted in our love for one another. That everything that we are doing right now, we are doing because we care for all beings in the world. We are doing because we recognize our interconnectedness with the world and with the universe and with each other. And we can take refuge in knowing that our pain is born from deep love. And we can take refuge in knowing that this is how our lives are blessed. Because even in the moments when it doesn't necessarily feel like it, maybe especially in the moments when it doesn't necessarily feel like it, we can remind ourselves that everything that we are doing, everything that we are sacrificing, everything that we are giving up and pushing pause on, we are doing to take care of one another. We are doing to protect what matters most to us. We are doing because we recognize that the greatest blessings in this world are rooted in our love for one another. So as you begin to move and flow through this practice today, inviting yourself to connect with your blessings, to connect with all of the love in your life, your reasons why you are willing to endure this pain for love. From here, we will begin to bend into the knees and bring the soles of the feet together to touch. Simply allow the knees to open as wide as they are willing to go. No need to force anything or push anything here. Taking a Supta Baddha Konasana with the outsides of the feet pressing up against the wall. And just staying with the breath throughout our practice. From here, we're going to draw the knees closed and set the feet up against the wall about hip-width distance apart. Arms are going to be down by your side. And then as you inhale, you're going to press those feet up against the wall and just tuck the tailbone so that it lifts a few inches off of the mat. Exhale, lower the hips back down. We'll do that a few more times. Inhale, press the feet, start to tuck and roll the tailbone off the mat, maybe coming up a little bit higher this time. And then exhale, lower down. One more time, inhale, press, tuck that tailbone, start to roll it up. Maybe this time coming all the way up onto your shoulder blades. You can walk the feet a little bit higher up the wall so that you're coming into a supported bridge. Stay here for a few breaths. And then as you exhale, walk the feet back down to where you started and then roll the entire spine down onto your mat. Really nice. Take a moment here. And then we're going to extend the legs straight out again. This time we're going to take the heels nice and wide. So we're just making a V shape with the legs. They can be as close together or far apart as it feels best on your body. And then just taking a few breaths here. We will then start to bend into the knees and just roll to one side. Take a moment. We're going to press ourselves up into a seated posture, facing now away from the wall. So just centering yourself on the back of your yoga mat. Make your way into any comfortable seat, maybe sitting cross-legged or coming to a kneeling position. And take a moment to simply ground here. You can allow your eyes to close or simply soften your gaze. Just allowing a moment to settle in. And then from here, we're going to come to a tabletop position. So rolling over your knees and stacking shoulders over wrists, hips right over the knees. We'll start to flow through some gentle cat-cow postures. Inhale, soften your belly down, lift your heart, lift your hips. Exhale, press into your hands, round your spine, tuck your tailbone under. Moving just like this. Inhale to draw forward, broaden through your chest. Exhale, press and round. Belly button draws in and up, head hangs heavy. 2 more times. Inhale to come forward, maybe a soft bend in the elbows to get even wider through the heart space. Exhale, round everything together. 1 more time. Inhale to come forward. Exhale to round back. And then finding your way into a neutral spine, walking your hands a full handprint forward and shifting the hips forward as well so that you're coming into a modified plank pose. Keep your core nice and engaged here. elbows are going to move straight back. So we'll take an inhale to prepare, and then as you exhale, slowly lower down. Try to land your belly button and heart in the same moment. And then as you inhale, press your hips into the mat, lift your heart up, find a baby cobra. Exhale, lower back down. Inhale, press up through all fours. And then as you exhale, you're going to tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. You can take a moment to pedal out your dog here or shift your hips from side to side, really finding any movements that feel inviting on your body as you start to greet your hamstrings in this practice. We'll begin to soften into the knees and look between your hands and just very slowly start to make your way to the top of your mat. Moving your feet about hip width distance apart here, finding a ragdoll pose. Your arms can dangle by your sides, or you can find opposite elbow with opposite hand, and then maybe a sway or a rock, any movement to just allow gravity to encourage you to move a little bit deeper into this pose. On your exhale, surrender your hands down to the mat, toe heel your feet together to touch. On an inhale, hands draw up to your shins or thighs for a flat back halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. We'll stay here for a few breaths, really reaching the crown of your head forward, reaching your tailbone back. Seeing if you can find a strong line through your spine here. One more inhale. And then exhale, release, fold over your legs. On your inhale, soften into your knees. We're going to rise all the way up, sweeping the arms out, reaching them tall, finding your extended mountain. Taking a moment here to ground through the feet, soften through the shoulders. One more inhale. Exhale, hands move through heart center, hinge at the hips, soften into the knees and fold all the way over your legs. Inhale to a flat back, hands to shins or thighs. Exhale, plant the palms down, bend the knees, and step back to plank pose. Option to tap your knees down for this variation like we did the first time, or you can keep your knees lifted. As you exhale, elbows come straight back. We're going to lower all the way down to our bellies. Moving to the tops of your feet, inhale, lift your heart, baby cobra. Exhale, lower down. Inhale to press up through tabletop or plank pose. Exhale, find your downward facing dog. Hips move up and back. Heart is pressing towards your thighs. Taking a moment here, staying with your breath. From here, we're going to bring the toes together to touch. And then you're going to bend into both knees and extend the right leg up the wall. You want to press the ball of the foot up against the wall and see if you can lengthen through both legs here. So we're taking a three-legged down dog with the assist of the wall. See if you can keep that right hip squaring down towards the mat. And then option here to press so much into the ball of the right foot and into the hands that you can just hover the left toes off the mat a few inches. This is simply an option, so if you're not wanting to move to that variation, just keep that left foot grounded. We'll take one more inhale here. And then as you exhale, you're gonna bend into the right knee and start to step it all the way up between your hands. We'll take just a moment in this low lunge, maybe getting nice and light on the fingertips, seeing if you can reach your heart really far forward. One more inhale here. And then as you exhale, left foot steps forward, forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms out, reach tall, extend your mountain. Exhale, hinge and bow, nice and slow journey down, forward fold. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, plant the palms, bend your knees, step back, plank pose. So option 2, tap the knees down to come half or all the way down. Or this time you can keep the knees lifted. Inhale, rock forward to your tippy toes. Exhale, lower halfway down and pause, chaturanga. Inhale, move to the tops of your feet. Start to straighten your arms as you shine the heart forward, finding upward facing dog. And then as you exhale, roll over your toes, send your hips high, downward facing dog. Beautiful, really nice. From here, bring those big toes together to touch. Soften into both knees. And then this time we're gonna extend that left foot all the way up the wall. Ground into the ball of the foot up against the wall. Find your 3-legged down dog here. So again, really working to square that left hip down. Option to press into the left foot, press into the hands, maybe hovering the right toes off the mat. And if you chose to hover, lowering the right toes back down, we'll take one more inhale. And then as you exhale, bend into that left knee. We're gonna sweep it forward, step the foot between your hands. Taking a moment in this low lunge, getting nice and light through the heart. Gaze is up. Feet are grounded. One more inhale here. As you exhale, right foot comes forward, forward fold. Inhale to your flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. One more time, inhale, sweep those arms out, reach tall, Utthita Tadasana, option for a little back bend at the top. And then exhale, hinge and bow, fold over your legs. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, plant the palms, bend the knees, step back and lower half or all the way down, finding your vinyasa. Inhale to upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, meeting in downward facing dog. Really nice. Taking a moment in this down dog, really feeling the lengthening through the backs of your legs. This time, on the bottom of your exhale, soften into your knees, look between your hands, walk, step, or float lightly to the top of your mat. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Bring your big toes together to touch, soften into your knees, start to melt your hips down, and as you inhale, sweep those arms forward and up, finding your chair pose, Utkatasana. Allowing your tailbone to get nice and heavy, really feeling your weight grounding through the heels. Staying with that deep yogic breath here. One more inhale. Exhale, release, fold over your legs. Inhale to your flat back. Exhale, plant the palms, bend the knees, step back to plank pose. Always an option to go straight back to your down dog, or you can choose to flow through your vinyasa, finding your high to low push-up, and then breathing into baby cobra or upward facing dog, breathing out, finding downward facing dog. Bring the big toes together to touch here. We're going to soften into both knees, and as you inhale, extend the right foot up the wall again. Keep those hips squaring down. You can always float the left toes for a moment. Take another inhale here. Exhale, right foot steps between your hands. We're gonna ground into the left heel. So the left toes are pointing towards the left corner of your yoga mat at about a 40-degree angle, setting up for warrior one. On an inhale, we're gonna root down through the feet to rise tall. Breathing in, finding your warrior. Maybe bringing your hands to your ribs and drawing your right side a little bit further back, left side a little further forward, so that the shoulders and the heart are squaring straight in front of you. Nice and strong through that foundational left leg. We'll take one more inhale here. And then as you exhale, we'll open it up, finding warrior two, so widening your stance as much as you need to, allowing the hips to really open, allowing your shoulders to soften away from your ears. We're going to straighten into the right knee, flip the right palm, and as you inhale, we're going to reach up and back, reversing our triangle. And then as you exhale, rise back up to stand, re-bend into the right knee, and find your side angle pose. Right forearm rests lightly on the right thigh. Left hand reaches up towards the ceiling. Heart is spiraling open, keeping the core engaged so that the entire torso is really nice and light here. And then we're going to find a little flow. Inhale, rise up, lengthen through the right knee, reach up and back, reverse your triangle. Exhale, coming up, reaching forward, finding your side angle pose. Two more times just like that. Inhale, reverse your triangle. Exhale, find side angle. Once more, inhale, reverse your triangle. Exhale, side angle pose. Pausing in this side angle, and you can choose to stay exactly where you are, or you can choose to reach those left fingertips forward, extending your side angle, or maybe wrapping that left forearm behind your back for a half bind. And just taking a moment to land in your breath here. On your next inhale, you're going to keep the right knee bent, rise up, flip the right palm, and reverse your warrior. And then as you exhale, you'll windmill your arms down to the mat to frame your right foot. Step back to plank pose and flow through your vinyasa, chaturanga dandasana, as you exhale. Urdhva Mukha, shining your heart forward as you inhale. And then Adho Mukha, downward facing dog, as you exhale. And just coming back to meet in this posture. And then we are going to take it on the other side. So big toes draw together to touch, soften into your knees. Inhale, extend that left foot up the wall, ground into the ball of the foot, maybe hover the right toes. As you exhale, that left foot is going to step between your hands. Right foot is going to ground down into the mat, toes pointing towards the right corner of your mat this time, setting up for warrior one. On your inhale, we're going to rise strong into our warrior posture. Maybe taking that same manual adjustment where your hands draw to your ribs, left side slightly back, right side slightly forward, and then re-extending the hands up to the ceiling. Really allowing yourself to feel your strength in this pose, your ability to endure the pains that love is inflicting on us in this moment in time. Taking one more inhale here, and then as you exhale, opening up to warrior two, walking your right foot out slightly, aligning the feet, reaching out through the fingertips.
Wondering what you're dreaming.
And then as you inhale, you're going to lengthen through that left knee, flip your left palm, reach up and back, reverse your triangle. As you exhale, we're going to come back up to stand, hinge forward at the hips, and move the left forearm to the left thigh for side angle pose. Taking a moment to really set up a strong foundation in this side angle. And then we'll find our flow. As you inhale, rise up, lengthen through the knee, flip and reverse your triangle. Exhale, moving back to your side angle pose. 2 more times just like that. Inhale, reverse your triangle. Exhale, find side angle. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, side angle pose. Holding this one here and then choosing to keep that right hand lifting straight up to the ceiling, or maybe reaching it forward for an extended side angle, or finding a half or full bind. Staying with the breath here, keeping your heart light and lifted.
So let's stay wrapped up in these sheets.
And then keeping that left knee bent. On your inhale, you'll rise up, flip the palm, reverse your warrior. Exhale, windmill the arms to frame the left foot, step back to plank pose. Always an option to go straight to down dog or flow through your vinyasa. And meeting back in downward facing dog when you're ready. Bring the big toes together to touch again. Soften into your knees, and as you inhale, extend the right foot up the wall. Exhale, step that right foot between your hands. Stay lifted on the ball of the left foot. And as you inhale, rise up into a high lunge. Just allow a moment to open through that left hip flexor, keeping the shoulders and the hips squaring forward. One more inhale here. As you exhale, open it up, warrior two. Just taking a moment to land in this warrior pose. And then lengthen through that right leg. And we'll start to reach forward with the right fingertips as you shift the hips slightly back. And then reach that right hand down. It can come to a block, to your thigh, or to your shin for triangle pose. Keeping the feet really grounded and rooted into the earth, but the energy of the inner thighs is moving towards one another. So the energy is staying light and lifted here. Left hand is stacked right over the left shoulder. on your next inhale, rise up to stand. Hands come to your hips and pivot the right foot to be parallel with the yoga mat. We'll inhale to lift the heart. And as you exhale, lead with your heart as you melt between your legs for a wide leg forward fold, prasarita. Hands can come down to the earth when you're ready. And then really give yourself some time here. You can take any movements that feel inviting to your body. Maybe just a little typewriter motion of your hips from side to side. Maybe a deep knee bend on one side and then on to the other. You can take a twist. Really whatever you need here. And if you took anything to one side, just give yourself a moment to really balance that out on the other side. And then allow the hands to come right underneath of the shoulders. And we're going to pivot to walk the hands towards the wall. So finding a low lunge facing the wall, be very mindful that you don't accidentally bonk your head. And then when you're ready, stepping back, finding your plank pose. And from here, we're just going to tap the knees down to the mat and start to walk the knees forward so that we are right up against the wall. We're going to take a camel pose up against the wall today. So you want to get the knees as close to the wall as possible. And then just sort of shimmy yourself forward so that you can press the hips up against the wall. Your hands will come to your low back, fingers pointing down. And then you're going to keep pressing the hips into the wall for this pose. And then start to find a little lift through the heart space as you move into your back bend through the upper spine here. You can allow your gaze to drift up towards the ceiling, making sure wherever you move that you can still breathe. And on your next inhale, nice and slow, start to rise up out of this back bend. And then we'll just very gently sit down onto the calves, taking a moment in this kneeling position, resting palms down on the thighs, and just allowing your energy to really settle here. From here, we're going to move into a downward facing dog. So beginning to walk the knees back, plant into the hands. Again, mindful of the wall in front of you so as not to bump your head. And then just make your way into your down dog. Take a moment to pedal out the feet here. Move in any intuitive way that your body is asking for. And then we will begin to walk the hands about halfway back on the yoga mat. So hands start to move towards the feet. And then we'll soften into the knees and start to walk the feet up to meet the hands. So finding a forward fold a little bit further back than halfway on your yoga mat. And then moving the feet inner hip width distance apart, softening into your knees, and slowly rolling all the way up to stand, moving one vertebra at a time, and allowing your head and neck to be the last to rise. We're going to set up for a few balancing postures here, starting with tree pose. So begin by grounding into the right foot and set the left foot either on your ankle or on your calf, or on your inner thigh. Hands can be at heart center for this tree pose. You can have them down by your sides for a little bit more balance, or you can grow them tall towards the sky. Just finding your variation.
Just two figures in the moonlight, giving up the fight, not to go too far.
And then transitioning from this standing tree posture into dancer pose. We're going to lift the left foot off of the right leg, bend into the knee, reach back with the left hand and grab the inside of the left foot. Right hand is going to reach up towards the ceiling, and then we're going to begin to tip forward, hinging at the hips, really sending your left foot into your hand and placing your right hand up against the wall. So you can take a moment to adjust. You can move a little bit further forward or a little bit further back here, and really allowing that connection of palm on the foundation of the wall so that you can press into it, use the wall for support, and really find the depth of the dancer that you're looking for today. Taking a moment, breathing into this.
Just two figures in the moonlight, giving up the fight, not to
And then just slowly coming all the way back up, releasing the left foot down towards the mat. You can roll out the ankle or pedal out through the knees. And then we'll set up for our balance on the other side. So now grounding into the left foot, right foot is going to come to ankle, calf, or inner thigh for your tree pose. Again, finding any variation that serves your practice with the hands resting at heart center, out by your sides, or up towards the sky.
all my
Really feeling the energy of the foot rooting down, the energy of the heart lifting up. And then we'll release the right foot, bend into the knee. We're going to grab the inside arch of the right foot with the right hand, drawing the knees in line with one another, setting up for our dancer pose on the other side. Left hand reaches tall, and then when you're ready, we're going to hinge forward. Left hand will find the wall. Right foot goes really far into the right hand, extending it as much as possible. And breathing in this dancer pose. Slowly start to lift off the wall, release the foot down to your mat. You can roll out the ankle or pedal out the knees here. From here, we're going to take a step forward so that we're right up against the wall, and we're going to open out the arms to a T so that the hands are extending straight from where the shoulder is. And then pressing the body forward up against the wall. And starting with the left hand, we're going to begin to turn the body to the right so that the left arm is getting a nice stretch here. The heart is shining open to the right. The feet are pointing out to the side. And if this feels like it's giving you a nice stretch, you can pause. You can stay right here. If you want to go deeper, the toes can continue to travel a little bit more towards the corner of your mat. The heart shines open a little bit more here. So just finding your edge and breathing into it. Taking one more inhale. And then as you exhale, release, toes walk to face the wall again. And then opening out into the right arm, really pressing that right arm against the wall. Begin to walk the toes to the left as the heart shines open, feeling your stretch now in the right side of your chest, throughout the right arm. And just move to your depth. You can continue to walk those toes out, or you can stay right here. One more inhale. And this time as you exhale, you're going to release that hand down and turn all the way around so that your back is up against the wall, walking the heels as close to the wall as you can get them. And then we're going to take a forward fold against the wall. So definitely an option to use your block here. You might need to walk the feet a little bit out just so that we can get into this posture. And then when you're ready, just begin to fold over your legs. Hands will come down to a block or to your yoga mat. And when you're ready, you'll walk the heels back right up against the wall and start to lengthen through the legs. So you can use the wall for your support here, really feeling the lengthening of the legs as you deepen into your fold. Taking a few breaths here. And then when you're ready, if you use the block, you can move it to the side. We're going to walk the hands forward and come into downward facing dog. So you might need to step those toes a little bit further forward here. And we'll just land in our down dog. Begin to move the big toes together to touch. Soften into the knees. And as you inhale, extend the left leg up the wall. As you exhale, bend into the left knee. Step it through between your hands. Low lunge. Inhale to rise up, high lunge, staying lifted on the ball of the right foot. Taking a moment to just feel the opening in the hip flexor here. One more inhale. Exhale, open it up, warrior two. Settling in here. Allowing the hips to open. And then lengthening through the left knee. We're going to start to reach those left fingertips forward, shift the hips back. And when you're ready, floating the left hand down to your thigh, to your shin, or to a block for Trikonasana triangle pose on the other side. Really spiraling the heart open. Aligning the body so that the nose is directly over your toes, so that the hand is directly over the shoulder. And then on your next inhale, you'll rise up out of this pose. Bring your hands to your hips and pivot the toes so that they are aligned with the short ends of your yoga mat. We're going to take another wide leg forward fold here, so you can keep your hands on your hips, or if you'd like a shoulder opener, you can interlace your fingers behind your back or use a strap or a towel to shorten that distance. And wherever you are, inhale to lift your heart, and then exhale, melt between your legs, fold into your Prasarita. You can hang on to that shoulder opener as long as it feels inviting to you. And whenever you're ready, you can release your hands down to the mat. And a few moments, a few breaths here to move however you need to move. And when you're ready, ready, bringing your hands out underneath of the shoulders. And then we're going to crawl the hands towards the wall again, finding another low lunge, facing the wall. And then stepping back to plank pose. And lowering the knees down towards the mat, we'll take one more camel pose here. So walking the knees forward, really pressing the thighs and the hips up against the wall. Hands come to your low back. And this time you can keep your hands on your low back, or you can reach them down for blocks or for your heels, just moving to your depth. Really trying to keep the hips pressing into the wall here. So what we don't want to do is have this sort of hinge back motion where we're reaching for something that might be beyond our grasp. So finding your depth, staying with your breath. And then inhale, slowly rise out of that back bend. And then exhale, sit down on the calves. You have a moment here. You can stay in this seated meditation. You can choose to walk the knees back on the mat and find a child's pose, taking a moment of rest and connection. Or if you have a safe inversion in your practice, you have the assist of the wall, so you can take a moment and maybe play with something that feels like it would strengthen and serve your practice today. So wherever you choose to go, moving there with love. Connecting to those reasons that you identified at the beginning of this practice for all of your actions during this time. The reasons we wear masks in the grocery store. The reasons we close down the doors of our businesses. The reasons we stay physically distant from those we love. All of these reasons, even the ones that were enforced and mandated, are born from love. All of these pains that we feel, inflicted because of our love. From here, we are going to come out of whatever posture you chose for the last several breaths and make our way back to the position that we started in with our legs up the wall. So maybe sort of sliding your body right up against the wall and then rotating down onto your spine as you extend the legs up, lengthening them, and allowing the feet to open. So taking a moment to just settle in here. And then we're going to move into a reclining pigeon pose. So the further away your sit bones are from the wall, the more gentle this will be. And the closer the sit bones are to the wall, the more intense it'll be. So you can play with that distance and really find what's right for you. Bending into both of your knees here, planting the feet up against the wall. And we'll start with the right side. We're going to cross the right ankle over the left thigh. So you might notice that you are a little bit too close for this to be comfortable, and you can shimmy the body back on the mat. Or if you're looking for more intensity, you can shimmy the body forward on the mat. Just allow that right knee to open as you begin to breathe into that space in your hip. As you begin to notice whatever is showing up for you in this posture. We are faced with many of our intense emotions and intense thought patterns inside our hip opening postures. So it is a beautiful place of practice to stay with our experience, to allow our feelings to be there, to hold them with as much grace, as much compassion, as much love as we can offer ourselves in this moment. And making sure that the hands are down by the sides here, we're going to press this into a reclining pigeon bridge pose. So pressing that left foot up against the wall. And this might just be a little tuck of the tailbone, so maybe only lifting the low back off of the mat. Or if you want to go deeper, you can continue to press into that left foot and lift the entire spine off the mat so that you're resting your weight more on the shoulders. Taking a moment to breathe here. And then a slow lower down. We're going to uncross the right ankle, place it down on the wall. And then we'll just take it to the other side. Left ankle crosses over the right thigh. Again, you can play with the distance, moving forward or moving back, noticing that the left side of the body and the right side of the body are always a little bit different. So honoring where you are here. And noticing what arises for you on this side. Love has inflicted so many pains on me, and that is how my life became blessed. We are all hurting, and in this taking care of each other, in this recognition of our unity and our interconnectedness, we are all blessed. Breathing into this reminder. And then we will take our bridge variation on the other side, pressing the right foot up against the wall, and then either just tucking the tailbone a few inches or pressing all the way up so that you're moving more towards the shoulders. Staying for a few breaths here. And then very slowly rolling down. We'll uncross the left ankle, place both feet on the wall, and just let the knees drop from side to side. Give yourself a little windshield wiper motion. And we will conclude our sequence with a legs up the wall Shavasana. So there's an option here to place a block or a bolster or a pillow underneath of the hips, or you can choose to keep them grounded on the mat. And we'll just extend the legs straight up the wall. Allow yourself to get as comfortable as possible here, just feeling the support of your mat beneath you, and really feeling the healing qualities of this inversion. This allows our heart to have a little bit of a rest. This helps to activate the parasympathetic nervous system so that we can move into a deeper state of rest and calm. It can help keep us grounded and centered. So feeling all of those benefits as you move into your final meditation. Inviting your attention to stay with your experience, whatever your experience is in this present moment. Inviting your attention to stay with your breath. Stay grounded in your body. And stay with the deep truth that all of these pains that we are experiencing right now are because of love. And because of love, we are blessed. You are welcome to stay in this posture as long as it is serving you. And whenever you are ready to conclude your practice, know that the light within me honors and bows to the light within you. Namaste.